Get ready to discover the shocking and ultimate truth behind one of the biggest questions in pop culture, a question that echoes through generations of fans and the curious. The mystery of Superman's red trunks over the blue suit isn't a fashion mistake or a random choice, but a powerful visual code, an inheritance from an era of brute strength and spectacle that defined what it means to be a superhero. The answer is much simpler and more brilliant than you ever imagined. Hey clickers, subscribe with the bell activated, comment what content you'd like to see on the channel, share this video to help us grow, and leave your hype. That helps us a lot. The official explanation for the Man of Steel's iconic costume takes us directly back to the 1930s, a time before his first appearance. When creators Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster conceived the character, they drew inspiration from figures that represented the peak of physical strength and popular heroism of that era. The main references didn't come from other fictional characters, but from the real world, specifically circus performers, wrestlers, and strongmen who appeared in traveling shows. These athletes and performers usually wore tight leotards to show off their well-defined muscles. But over those leotards, they wore a kind of sturdy trunks or briefs. This piece of clothing over the leotard had multiple practical and visual functions for the strongmen of the time. First, it served to protect the performer's modesty, covering the pelvic area in a way the thin leotard alone couldn't properly do. Secondly, and perhaps more important for the creation of the superhero archetype, this garment created a visual contrast that emphasized the musculature of the torso and legs, breaking the monotony of the single-colored leotard and focusing the audience's gaze on the powerful central region of the athlete's body, his center of strength. By adopting this look for Superman, Siegel and Shuster were using an already established visual language, a shortcut to immediately and unmistakably tell the reader that this character was a being of superhuman strength. When the last son of Krypton made his historic debut in Action Comics Volume 1 in June 1938, his costume was instantly coded into the public's mind. The blue represented heroism in the sky, the red evoked action and power, and the yellow of the chest shield symbolized hope. The red trunks over the blue leotard were not therefore underwear worn on the outside, but rather strongman trunks, a fundamental element completing the image of power and virtue the creators wanted to convey. This design was so effective, it became a standard for many other superheroes that followed, setting a visual convention that would last for decades. As the years passed and the stories evolved, the costume's origin within the fictional universe also gained explanations. One of the most famous, solidified after the Crisis on Infinite Earth saga in the 80s, said the suit was made from the same Kryptonian fabric that formed the blankets the young Kal-El was wrapped in when sent to Earth. His adoptive mother, Martha Kent, would have sewn the suit from this indestructible material. This canonical explanation gave the outfit a narrative purpose, turning real-world inspiration into an integral part of the character's mythology, a tangible link to his lost home planet. The debate over the garment reached its peak in 2011 with the relaunch of the entire DC Comics universe, known as the New 52. In this new phase, Superman was introduced with a redesigned costume, a kind of full-body Kryptonian armor, and notably without the classic red trunks. The change was an attempt to modernize the character, to make him visually more aligned with the darker, more realistic aesthetic that had become popular in cinema and other media. The justification was that the armor was more practical and fitting for an alien being of immense power. This change, however, sparked an intense reaction from longtime fans and many critics. For them, the absence of that classic component took away an essential part of the hero's visual identity. The suit without the red trunks seemed to many colder, more distant, and even a bit generic, losing the unique charm and historical connection to his humble and inspiring origins. The discussion wasn't just about a piece of clothing, but about what it symbolized: tradition, simplicity, and the optimistic essence of the first and greatest superhero. The outcry for the return of the classic look was so significant that, in 2018, for the 1000th commemorative issue of Action Comics, DC Comics made the monumental decision to bring back the red trunks. The return wasn't treated as something trivial, but as a symbolic event. It was a reaffirmation of Superman's core values, a return to hope, optimism, and the iconic image that established him for over 80 years. The official explanation, therefore, travels a path that starts with a practical and visual inspiration in the real world, gains depth with in-story justifications, and finally solidifies as a powerful and irreplaceable symbol of what it means to be Superman. Now that you know the truth behind the most famous costume of all time, we want to know your opinion. Do you prefer Superman's classic look with the red trunks, a symbol of his heritage and power, or the modern version with the Kryptonian armor? Which of these suits represents the Man of Steel better for you? Leave your comment below. We really want to know what you think about this iconic topic. Don't forget to hit that like to support our work, share this content with your friends who are also fans, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our future analyses and curiosities about pop culture. Your interaction is key for us to keep bringing the best content. Thanks.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret.